everybody. So today's Monday. That means it's time for family movie night. And this week we're continuing on with my Barbie series, which I think will last forever because I still have so many more to do. I think I've done 14 at this point. And we are looking at Barbie Presents Thumbelina. And this film came out in 2009, and of course it tells the story of Thumbelina, the Hans Christian Andersen story, but this is a very loose retelling. It's really only that the character is small. Everything else is basically different as far as the plot. And this one wasn't my favorite. It's definitely one of the least favorite that I've reviewed, but it's perfectly cute and fun. But I like the Barbie movies better, the more old-fashioned ones, the fairy tales, and this is definitely more of one of the modern ones, which I don't like as much. And also the story is very basic in here. What they decide to do is something you've seen a billion times, and it does not feature music the same way that the others do, and it's not really a musical, and the other films are more of musicals, and I just feel like that kind of sets them apart and makes them more enjoyable. So this one, you still have Kelly Sheridan playing Barbie, and you have her starting to tell a story because she's with a bunch of kids that are planting trees, and one of them kind of feels like, well, my tree is not going to do anything. This isn't worthwhile. And so she starts telling a story about a little girl little creature that still made a big impact. And so that's kind of that's kind of the way they bring Barbie into the story. And so she starts telling a story about Thumbelina, and she is voiced by Anna Coomer, and it's this whole society called the Twillerbees, and these are very similar to Pixie Hollow in the fairies movies. They have this whole cute little kind of village that's in this field that is covered with flowers, and they even spend some time in the flowers, and they're pretty cute. Nina has actually made fake wings for her and her two friends, Janessa and Chrisella, and so they're learning how to fly, and it's pretty cute. Well, one day all of a sudden there's these bulldozers that are there at the field, and they're going to dig up their field, and they take the one part of the flowers that these three of the Twiller bees are in, and the lead little girl, her name is McKenna, and she has this best friend who she I think named Valerie or Victoria or something like that, who is always doing all of this super fancy stuff, always bragging about her fancy life. And so she's always trying to kind of compete with this friend of hers. And when she sees the flowers, she says, oh, I want those flowers. So her dad digs up the flowers, puts them in her room. So all of a sudden, Thumbelina and her two friends are all of a sudden in the city. And they find out that they are going to be bulldozing the field and ruining the Twillerbees home. And so it's about how Thumbelina tries to convince McKenna to convince her dad so that they don't do this. And I mean, that's a story we've seen many times. And whole saving the environment kind of thing, and that's a good message for little kids. And I mean, it's cute enough. I just found the whole thing to be kind of bland, and since it didn't have that music element as much that I really love about the other ones, it really wasn't as good to me. And I found McKenna, because she is trying so hard to be competitive with this girl, this friend of hers, and Violet, that's her name, Violet. She's trying to impress Violet. And so it made her kind of an unlikable character, although she does learn and realize that she was wrong. And so it's fine. This is perfectly cute. Thumbelina is cute, and it's a nice message, even if it is a kind of bland message. that we can get in a lot of other ways the same message. But anyway, it's an interesting one. So let me know if you've seen this one, what you think of it, and where does it rank for you as far as the other Barbie films. We'll have to wait and see. Next week, I'm going to be talking about the Musketeers, Barbie and the Musketeers. So I think that'll get back to sort of the more fairy tales and old-fashioned stories that I prefer in the series than the modern ones. So I don't know. That's my thoughts. So what do you think of my shirt? I'm so excited about it. Talk to you all later. Please consider becoming one of our patrons. We have such a fun time in the patron group. And please consider subscribing to this channel. Like I said, I've reviewed a bunch of different Barbie movies and will continue to do so because I just think they're really fun. Please check out our merch store. We have a ton of fun, cool designs, and there's a link in the description. So thanks so much, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.